After 6.5 years at the helm of the TTC, Rick Leary steps down at the end of the week. He's led North America's third largest transit agency through a litany of challenges and changes. Major service disruptions, a derailment, and the impact of the pandemic have all put his leadership under the microscope.
During your tenure as CEO, fares have gone from $3 to $3.35. It's roughly an 11.5% increase. Might not sound like a lot to many people, but for people who ride the system every day, that's money out of their pocket. And then when they're confronted with maintenance issues and breakdowns and slowdowns, could you blame someone for feeling like, well, maybe it's not worth even the $3.35 to ride the TTC?
No, I don't blame them at all. I can understand, right? My heart goes out to them. And I talk to people every day, not every day, but when I talk to people and they express that to me, I like to think that we're good stewards of public funding here. I can tell you that over the last 5 years, we have saved $172 million by doing things differently, being more efficient and more effective. And I like to think that what we've done with that money is be able not to have fare increases, not to have tax levy increases on residents to help fund and pay for the TTC, as a sign of good faith that the TTC is doing its fair share.
But Leary is quick to point out that the TTC needs more funding, both for operations and maintenance. The TTC has $38 billion in state of good repair work that is unfunded.
I do believe that more money is necessary from all levels of government when it comes to state of good repair. Because when you see what's happening today, you can imagine what it's going to be like 5 years from now.
Critics have slammed Leary and the city for keeping the Scarborough RT in operation years past its viable life. He calls the derailment that closed the line for good a one-off that couldn't happen on another part of the system.
We've known that was reaching the end of its viable life for some time. There was a derailment. A lot of people say the city was lucky that no one was really seriously injured or killed. How was that allowed to happen, Rick?
I said to myself, could I have forecasted and maybe shut it down sooner? But before that, everybody wanted to keep it running longer. Right? So you have to make some tough decisions in this job, right? And we are very lucky. It's very lucky from the city standpoint that nobody got hurt, right? But I think it's more of a message to people that there's a capital investment plan that says you have to invest in the proper time.
Leary remains adamant that his resignation was his choice. He says allegations of bullying and workplace misconduct against him, which leaked out of a confidential TTC board meeting last fall, have had no impact. He cast doubt on whether an investigation was even underway.
If you're asking me, am I aware of an investigation or an investigation, I'm not sure if there's an investigation on me right now. I can tell you that for a fact, right? I understand what happens. I've read it in the newspapers. I've learned an awful lot in the newspapers. Being the CEO, you have to have thick skin. You know that an organization that's 100 years old, with a 100-year-old culture, that doesn't necessarily well adapt to change. There's been changes here from a focus, and people aren't happy about it.
Leary says he hopes his legacy is the TTC's diversity plan, which was created in 2020.
I think that people will remember that this organization doesn't look all like me and you anymore. This organization now is more reflective of the city in which we serve and the clientele and the customers that take the TTC. I'm very proud of that.
The TTC has yet to name an interim CEO to replace Leary while it hunts for his permanent successor. Shawn, Jeffords, CBC News, Toronto.